Hundreds of thousands of World War II and Korean War veterans pass away every year.
Those vets returned home and quietly went about their lives on farms, in factories. They didn't ask for thanks.
But now there's a group working to provide that by taking them to Washington, D.C. and the memorials built to commemorate their sacrifice. WSBT 22's Zach Crenshaw had the opportunity to go on a Northeast Indiana honor flight. And Zach, this trip was a first for our area.
Yeah, it was the 18th honor flight from Northeast Indiana, but the first to include Korean War veterans. That's because the nonprofit has been giving priority to the men and women who served in World War II. Their mission is simple: give our local veterans a day they will never forget, as a small thank you for all they've given us.
I never expected anything like this when I left home this morning, so it's overwhelming here tonight.
To understand the emotion of that night, you have to start that morning, well before sunrise, when veterans were welcomed to the Fort Wayne Air National Guard Base. Inside, veterans and their guardians were anxiously eating breakfast and swapping stories. Board member Dennis Covert accompanies the veterans with a clear purpose.
We want to make it a day that they are never going to forget.
The unsuspecting veterans were taken to the tarmac. Waiting there, community members, American flags, and brothers in arms. As the last veteran was wheeled on, it was wheels up. When they arrived at the gate in D.C., it was a celebration. There was dancing, surprise reunions, and strangers stopping in the busy airport just to clap.
Thank yous are wonderful. And there's still people in this country that care for us.
After the airport, it was the interstate, where a motorcycle police escort cleared the way. When they arrived at the mall, it wasn't the Lincoln Memorial or the Washington Monument they were rushing to. Instead, it was the Korean War Memorial, in which the majority of the flight's veterans served. Guys like Tom Cook.
They drafted us for 2 years. If you served in Korea, they knocked 3 months off. So I served a total of 21 months. I was in Korea 11 months.
It's called the Forgotten War, but on this day, the veterans were anything but. And neither were the 54,246 Americans who didn't survive, remembered by the ones who did. Did you lose some friends there?
Yeah.
Let me find out, Bob.
Every veteran has a different story. Some fought in the jungles daily. Others worked support jobs.
Sent to Korea to work on locomotives.
Joe Mitchell remembers the time fixing South Korean railroads almost turned deadly.
2 or 3 of them opened up with automatic rifles. And I told the one kid, I said, get down, get down. And you're going to get killed, son, standing up there like that.
Much of the flight, like Joe, was from the Fort Wayne area. But the organization is hoping to reach more men and women in the South Bend region, like Ursula Sherifinski.
I worked in a personnel office at U.S. Naval Air Station in Coronado, California.
At the Women's Memorial, Ursula was honored with a certificate highlighting her service because, like many women during World War II, she stepped up to fill a need.
I even met some of the boys that I knew in high school over there. And what are you doing here? Same thing you are, minding my own business and doing my job.
At the World War II Memorial, there was a group picture.
And we had a commitment to each other, and that commitment carried us through to victory over Germany and Japan. And I just feel honored and proud to be part of that.
On a day full of smiles, there was also heartache.
I see all those tombstones. I don't know if they had to die or not. They did.
War is a hell of a thing, and that's the results of it is what you see out there. There's a sea of head markers out there.
Not only were the veterans able to walk around Arlington National Cemetery, they had the privilege to witness a changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Forward! Forward! Witnessing the changing of the guard, and the seemingly endless headstones reminded the veterans of how fortunate they were to be there.
I don't have enough words for how grateful I am.
because I would have never made it out here.
Old age and the price of flying kept most from ever considering the trip. But the cost and every detail was taken care of, and the experience made greater by the company on board.
You know, it really feels good to see them all here. It's like we're all brothers. You can talk to them, and they know what you're talking about. You know, they understand because they've been there. It's like a big family reunion to me.
Tonight at 11, I'll show you the final reunion as the veterans returned home. It's an emotional homecoming you definitely won't want to miss.
Certainly a band of brothers, and what an experience they had there. You mentioned the Northeast Honor Flight. They're actually looking for veterans in our area.
Yeah, that's right. Because the operation is headquartered in Fort Wayne, and that's where they fly out of, the group knows it's less known up in the South Bend area, so they're hoping to have more veterans here sign up for future flights. If you know somebody, we have information on our website, WSBT.com. Just click on this story, and they're really looking to get, you know, the World War II vets that are here on that flight, you know, before they're not here any longer, unfortunately.
The fact that this group makes it as effortless as possible for them to be able to make that trip.
And a lot of them, yeah, struggle to get around in wheelchairs,
Right.
etc. And they just take care of every detail. And it's a day that those veterans
Makes
said,
it possible for them to
you
do
know,
it.
was on their bucket list. It was great.
What an experience. Yeah.
Zach, thank you.